Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This wonderful, what is today? Wednesday. All right. Facebook Live, January 21st. All right. We are very fortunate today to have with us real estate extraordinaire from the St. Rose office, Rochelle Vannoy, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the studio audience loves you. It goes crazy. So, well, you know what? We've done a few of these, but just give an idea who you are. I know you
Okay.
had a wonderful year last year. Not the exact year you wanted to, but really, with the way the market was, you had a great year. Tell me a little about yourself. How long you've been doing this wonderful thing, all that stuff.
Believe it or not, it was 21 years in December that I've been doing this now. And
Wow.
so, a minute. I am a full time agent here. My license is hung at the St. Rose office in Henderson, but I work the whole valley. And I work all kinds of price points.
Right. And your average is probably about what, 600 when you add them all up?
Probably five. I usually end up doing something really little for somebody, like some dirt or something pretty inexpensive. I have a person who just reached out to me the other day that wants to buy dirt in Amargosa, and that'll probably be like a whopping $20,000. That kind of hits your average price point when you do some stuff like that.
Right. But if they're your clients and your customers, you'll help them whatever it is from dirt, mobile
Yeah,
home, all the way up to multi-million
exactly.
dollar property.
Exactly.
Right. All right, cool. All right, so what do you tell us a little about how you feeling it right now? I mean, this year has started off pretty quick, hasn't it? It looks like everything's gotten into gear quickly, hasn't it?
I definitely think so. I came into this year listing heavy, meaning I had a lot of actives on the market. We've been pretty successful so far in getting offers for our clients on their properties. And I am very optimistic that that trend will continue, for quite a few months now. And it should be a good time for both buyers and sellers, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's going to be great. I think the interest rates are coming down, which is
Mhm.
going to be great for buyers. The market, I mean, I just feel the vibe and the gear already is a little bit more than it was. Although
Yeah.
2 weeks of December were pretty damn good, weren't they?
Yeah, December was better than some Decembers in the past for sure. It's usually one of the traditionally slower months here in Las Vegas. The good thing is, a lot of the unmotivated people took their homes off the market for sale. So I personally think that'll be good for the market in general. And those that are motivated, that are on the market, have been seeing showings and getting offers. So that's good.
Very good, very good. And what about the super exciting news that you have running into this year that happened last year? Someone who also shares your office with you.
Oh, well, it's good news for me. So I do have a new assistant, and my daughter decided to come and work for me for a minute. Yep, she's done with college, and so I am fortunate to have a very overqualified assistant at this time.
It's great. Great. Yeah, Kate's great. She's got the right attitude and she knows you, so she knows what to expect.
Yeah, she's definitely only assistant I've ever had who's yelled back at me.
Yep.
but but it's all good. I actually truly feel like my clients are in amazing hands. I don't really worry about everything once I've
Yeah.
got the pieces of the puzzle moving on the front end. So
And she's really good with people too, which is great. My limited exposure to her, although I've seen her for years. I've seen her when she was half the size she is now. I've seen her come when you won what top 25 women's council like 2 3 years in a row. I've seen her there, and now
Mhm.
she's like this woman out of college and working for you and got licensed. Boom,
Yeah,
immediately. She
yeah,
probably
I
thought
know.
the real estate course was pretty easy compared to some of her college courses, right?
Yeah, don't tell everyone else that though. But yeah, yeah, that wasn't a problem for her to pass. the first time around on any of that stuff. She's going to go to med school, so I think the real estate exam's a little easier.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I live with a nurse practitioner with two masters, so I get it. She's when I first met her, she was always in school, but now she's just been doing her thing for a while. So yeah, those are and their continuing education is much tougher than ours too.
It's real.
Yeah, exactly.
Ours is like, do you have a pulse? Oh, okay, great. Yeah.
Please produce condensation on this mirror. I'm only kidding, realtors out there. No, I don't know about you because I know you've done. You were in the corporate world before. You came into real estate to replace your income, which you did times many times now. But did it surprise you when you first got in? I mean, doctors like your daughter. She's going to medical school. Lawyers. Did it surprise you how little education that you really needed to get in to make the kind of money you can make with I think about how important it is selling people's homes, selling them a new home. They have their families there, they get married there, they have children there, and
Yeah.
it's their biggest investment, most of them. And really, you take a course for a month or two, you pass a test, and you have a license to sell real estate. It's pretty crazy.
It is kind of crazy when you think about it like that. We do have a lot of responsibility, which is why I am glad I'm president this year of the grievance committee for the Board of Realtors, and trying to keep everybody doing everything copacetic for not just with internally but with the public. Um, Real estate's not hard physically, but I can say real estate will help you grow as a person if you truly try to do real estate in high volume.
Mm,
Because you do own your own business, which a lot of people don't realize when they get into real estate. And with owning your own business, you need to budget, which I was self employed kind of before anyway. So I kind of already knew how to budget. Um, but it's on a higher level. And then, like, I have staff, so you have to learn how to hire and fire. You have to learn how to delegate. You have to learn how to have great vendors and other people around you, and have enough business to give them to keep them happy so that they stay with you. So there are a lot of moving pieces to having a really high net dollar worth return, because
mm,
otherwise you can spend a lot of money on things in real estate and not necessarily do as well as you could. But yes, the education required just to get your license is crazy. There, I would love if we could have minimum standards. They can be super minimum, honestly, but I just think some minimum standards would help the public immensely as far as care. I think if we had also more open disclosure to the public about actual days on market, volume, actual client, review. If there was some way to share that more transparently with the public, I think would also help our industry raising the bar to be hopefully closer to nurses and doctors, right? Because we really do a great service for people.
right. No, and it's such a specialized service too. You're right. Most of like I go in and I talk to the education class as your daughter was in when I went in and spoke, and I knew she would ace the test right away first time. But I went in and spoke to them, and I always tell them, the only thing that matters, okay, when you take this test and pass it, it only means one thing: you know how to pass a test, because it has nothing to do with selling.
Yeah,
Absolutely nothing to do with
right.
selling. And because some people that take the test 3 times become the best realtors, best salespeople on the planet. They understand customer service, right? I think the fact that you were a business person before you came into real estate, right? I always tell them, and I say this to everybody. You're probably the most lean and mean. And I don't mean mean as in, I mean you are
Person.
lean. Yeah, I mean like you have a presentation. You know how to sell. You're one of the most coachable people as well. I mean, not at first, not 50 years ago, but
That
now.
warms my heart. Not too many people tell me that. They tell me I don't
Well,
actually take advice a lot of the time. So,
oh, no, you're coached by Mike Ferry.
yeah.
I was your coach when I was there. I've been here now for 12 years. You've been in my coaching pretty much the whole time. You're in Mike
Yeah.
Ferry. You go to events. You ask questions. You're very coachable. Now you also have a plan and you're very determined, which is different than not being coachable, though.
Fair enough. I'll take that.
It's a compliment. Just say thank you.
Well, you know what it is Rick, I've had very strong boundaries for a long time. When my kids were much younger, they asked me to work less, which I did because time is the one gift in this world we don't get back. And time with friends and family is what all of this craziness is about, right? It's how impactful you can be, micro, meaning with your immediate family, and hopefully on a little bit more macro level with those that you interact with on a daily basis. And so because of that, sometimes I am pretty rigid about, no, I'm not going to do that because it would impact other people that I've made commitments to. So there are things that sometimes people say, well, why don't you do this or that? And the answer is pretty easy for me most of the time.
Well, like for instance, I get here quite often at 6:20, 6:30, never later than 6:40. So sometimes I'm here a little before you, sometimes you're here a little before me,
Yeah.
but there's nobody else. And Troy comes in right about the same time. But
Yeah,
there's
it's
very
funny, the three of us. Yeah.
you're getting ready to make those expired calls. And that's the other thing too. I consider you very well rounded because not only do you call expireds, you call for sale by owners, you do just listed, just sold, you work your sphere incredibly well. You've lately introduced social media even more. Not that social media will replace anything we just said, but it definitely adds a little icing on the cake too. So I would say great job because you just keep. And I remember because you can be accused of being a little analytical
Just a little.
when
Although,
you went on your.
people
Remember
all
when
the
you went on
time
your.
now just say, you're not an analytical. And I'm like, oh, well, you haven't seen me try to buy something for myself, have you?
Right. But you went on that that craze in a good craze. I don't know, probably 10 years ago now, where you started working with all four personality styles very heavily, so you could work with all four of them because not everybody's your personality style, right?
No, that's one of the biggest aha moments many, many years ago in my real estate career is how your visual perspective of the world is really dependent on how you were raised and your personality style, like you were just talking about. And to be able to put yourself in the other person's shoes and actually be able to see the world through their eyes really does help you to connect with the sellers and buyers and other agents.
Yeah, it really does, and it says a lot that you're willing to go out there and do that because a lot of people, like I always tell agents, when you say these people just don't get it, you've already made a mistake because it's not
Yeah,
their job to get you; it's your job to get them and what they're trying to do. Even if it's a little out to lunch, sometimes
right.
most people have a reason and what they're looking for, right?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, 100%. And one of the hardest things for me is when I'm truly wanting to help a family with regards to selling up their home, and they do chose somebody else, which is I am not right for everyone, and I certainly don't expect that. But at some level, I do consider it a failure for me to have connected and communicated that desire in a way that they understood.
Right.
So, nobody's perfect, and I don't want to be perfect. That's pretty boring.
Sure.
um, but my listing ratio has been as high as almost 75, 80%. Last year it was only at 70. So I'd really like to get that higher for a couple of reasons. I do feel I'm very good at my job, and I think I can help people net more money. And so if I can do that in a way that is a win for the client as well as myself, then I consider that a success.
Right. And being at 70%, I would say it depends too, because if I'm only going out, I mean, I have agents that have a 95, 100% batting average on listing appointments, but they don't do anywhere
Mm,
near as much business as you because they only go out on people they know. Tell them what
yeah.
you discovered last year by doing your numbers last year. What did you discover was a huge ratio more so than in other years past?
Yeah, I was shocked when I did the numbers because I do a lot of business from my past clients in sphere of influence, and I'm very proud of that. That shows that I did give good customer service, and it really makes me happy when people come back to me again to help them because it makes me feel like I've helped them enough that they know they can trust me to get them the results they deserve. And last year, I actually had more expireds, old and new expireds, that I had listed and sold than my past clients. And that's the first time that's happened in a very long time, which is a sign of the market. We had a ton more expireds last year, even than we did the year before.
Yeah. Well, it's a sign of the market. It's also a sign of your ability to work. My video this morning was a great work ethic and skills will make up for any type of market. And that I think you're a dynamite example of that because when you can get 70% of the expired listing appointments you're going on, that's damn good. I know 80, 80 would be the top, but like you said, it's tough to be perfect in a world that's pretty imperfect as just to do really well is damn good. So tell them a
Well,
little
and
about.
I'm not a discount broker, as you know. I'm full service. So I'm not doing it for, nothing either. That's one of my standards that, I do feel I create value. And, you know, there's a reason people go certain places to buy certain things or do certain things because they see value. Otherwise, we would all drive. What's that little car they just stopped making here because they're not selling? The one that's like $7,000, $8,000. It looks like a cracker
Smart
box.
from New England. It's a smart car, the smart car.
A smart car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
smart car.
Yeah, I heard they're going to stop selling them because they're not selling.
Good, because they look like
I
death
think they're
traps.
a hazard on the road. I would be so afraid of dying in that thing.
I, to me, that's like unless you've been into an accident, like whether it's your fault or not, regardless, and then you see what can happen to a car even at 30 miles an
Oh,
hour,
yeah.
you wouldn't drive one of those. I don't think you
I
wouldn't be
yeah.
wicked smart driving a smart car. So anyway, tell them a little about because I have the numbers, but I can't. I'd rather have you tell them a little about how you finished this year and what your goal is for next year, please.
How I finished this year. So I was pretty close this year on making most of my goals.
Right.
Um, and next year, my goal for 2026, because it's already here. So my goal for this year is to do more transactions than I've ever done. The most I've ever done is 56. So, but I'd really like to do 60 transactions. And then I really want to break that $500,000 mark, which should be totally doable if I get to the 60 deals.
Right.
Um, and to do that and, still be able to go on vacations. I just booked myself on a sailing vacation. I'm actually going to be on a private sailboat, like a real sailboat that has a backup, motor and all of that, but it's a sailboat. And the people I'm going with actually sail. No, I do not sail. But it's something I've always visualized myself And so I'm super excited. That's going to be in April. That's my first vacation. I usually do one thing a quarter. So that's my first quarter kind of goal to look forward to now.
That is awesome. Where are you going to sail? Like what part of the world?
So we fly into Nassau and it's a week. And I can't remember, they said the name of it. It's the Exhumes. Exhumes, does that sound right?
I don't
It's
know.
some kind of like little island area. The big boats and stuff don't ever go there. It's supposed to be absolutely gorgeous. So
It's
I'm
awesome.
looking forward.
That's going to be a blast. That's going to be a blast. Yeah. Awesome. Great, great, great. So 60 transactions, right? I definitely believe you can do it because, you still had a wonderful year this year,
Mhm.
even though it wasn't exactly what you wanted. But the playing field, as you can see, right, with the activity this year, the playing field, I think, is going to be better. I don't know if I necessarily totally agree with NAR, but I don't think they're far off. We're going to have an increase, whether it's 10% or they're predicting 14%.
Yeah, there'll be a few more transactions, nothing out of this world, right?
And a
And
lot less
rates are
agents,
going to drop a little probably, but nothing crazy. Yeah.
right? And a lot less agents too. Just that's one thing that people aren't talking about is that in the last 3-4 years we've probably reduced our population realtor across the country by about 30%, which is great, 25,
Mhm.
30%, which means more
Yeah.
transactions to your agents for the practicing person like yourself. Okay, that's going to be dynamite.
Yeah, yeah. Most of the people I'm sure that dropped their license weren't doing a lot of business, although there were probably some that were. But I would say probably the lion's share really weren't doing much. But like I said, again, that's just better protection for the public
Yeah,
because then they aren't having one person that has never done a deal or has only done one deal and it was 3 years ago and agrees to do it for a low amount and they hire them thinking they're saving money and they end up costing themselves money. So,
right.
uh, yeah, I am very excited about less agents.
Well, cool. Well, give them your three pieces of advice. I'm an agent. I want to have a great year. What would be the
Hmm.
three things you would tell them to focus on to really maximize, or, my saying, elevate your mix in 2026?
Is that the saying for this year? Okay.
That's the new one.
Um, I'm going to give you a couple of things that I'm personally doing. How's that?
Nice.
So the first one is my affirmation partner and I. She sent this over to me. She had talked to somebody else. It's called the Optimist Creed, and so we agreed to read that once a day, whether that is with each other or by ourselves. So I challenge everyone to just Google the Optimist Creed. It's pretty cool. The second thing is, I am actually texting my coach once a day for at least the first 6 months. This review every day. What went well today? What got me off track? And what am I going to improve on tomorrow? So
I
that's the
love it.
second thing that I am doing. The third thing that I am doing is I am adding another source. By source, I mean people that I'm reaching out to see if I can generate business from. And so I would challenge everyone to consider doing whatever source they haven't done or have strayed from for a little while. So those are my three for everyone this year.
You know what? When you said the second one, it reminded me of the challenge I put you through when I was at Mike Ferry. Remember the 30-day challenge?
Oh yes, I did like that. You should do a video on that for the people if you haven't ever done that, Rick, because that's
You know what?
pretty powerful.
Here's my video for tomorrow.
There you go. I gave you a great idea. See, it wasn't worth a waste of your time today.
No, never wasting my time talking to you. As I tell you, you're one of the joys in my schedule to talk to because you get it done. I mean, you're. I mean, I don't want to tell them all your personal stuff, but financially, you're set very well. Properties you paid off. I mean, you've done the business the right way. You came in with the right attitude. You asked the right questions. You're very coachable.
Mhm.
Incredible work ethic. So, no, it's never a waste of time speaking to Rochelle Vannoy.
Thank you. Thank you. Set goals, everyone. Set goals. With goals,
Yes,
don't make it a dream. A goal is a dream that you set a deadline on. So we did close on another investment property at the end of last year. My goal was to buy one last year, and we did. So There you go.
You're the best. Wish you nothing but best. Pleasure. We'll always be talking, obviously, but I just want to say thank you for taking your time today and doing this video. I'm sure people got a lot out of it. We'll be sending it out everywhere. Thank you once again, Rochelle. Appreciate it.
Oh, no, thanks, guys. Hopefully you got something out of it. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.